On our last episode of Dragon Bald Z, this is where Tim was at, and trying to make amends with the people that he had wronged over the past week or so, and bridge the gap with Jeremy at the quartering. They've been doing a bunch of gay stuff online, and that's fine, whatever, fantastic. Not actually gay, but just, like in their emotions and feelings and all that stuff. Together again this past week of insanity with Veritas, and these Republicans getting shot made me realize we have to stand together. Hashtag stronger together. I am sorry too, Jeremy. Let's just tongue kiss off to the side. And then what did Tim do to follow that up? Because that's where I left it. It's like that was the last tweet that he had put out there, and I just put it on as an addendum after I was done recording everything. That's where I thought that the insanity would end. But instead of just doing one meltdown today, we got to do a couple, because not long after that tweet, but before I had an opportunity to really, notice it or not, puts up a stupid poll saying, oh, should I retire? Should I shut down Timcast and retire? Obviously, you know where I voted, but we all need to come together, so I'm just gonna bug out to the woods because my civil war is coming. You know what this is? This is absolutely bitch-made behavior. Now, if you've been watching my coverage of this situation over the past few days, you know where I stand when it comes to covering this type of stuff, and why I don't think that Tim Pool's a very good resource outside of being an excellent headline aggregator. He'll tell you what the news is. If you want an analysis of it, well, if you actually want a solution at the end of it, you're never going to find it, because he wants to keep you in that churn cycle. And it's a successful business model, my mistake. No doubt, 100%. He gets millions of views every single day. He puts out an enormous amount of content. If you want to learn something from Tim, you can definitely learn how to launch a career and how much hard work it takes, because that dude is a machine when it comes to putting out content. Do I think it's very good? Obviously, I have my taste, and your mileage may vary. But I think that there are other people in the sphere doing it a hell of a lot better, and then also providing value, because there are two different words that I just want to break down that are thrown around a lot in the societal zeitgeist: simp and grifter. And we're going to go into what a grifter is, at least in my interpretation, because again, it's just thrown around out there. People think that, oh, if you make multiple videos on something, you're a grifter. If you talk about a subject that is just sensitive in nature, you're a grifter. If it's the old bait and switch, you're a grifter. And before I give you my definition, well, I said that there's going to be a couple of meltdowns. You already know Eliza's one of them. And yeah, Timmy boy, he does not disappoint. Listen, there's some more sauce that's going around here today with a bunch of other crazy stuff. This story takes precedent because it just involves a bunch of shady people doing shady things, projecting all of their own insecurities out into the world, saying that everybody else is a bad faith actor. Meanwhile, they're playing on both sides of the fence. You can't have it both ways, Tim. So good luck in your future endeavors. You got a couple of hours, and by the time this comes out, well, there's a good chance that that's where it's going to be. So probably have to do a video on this tomorrow at some point in time. Whatever, man. But that's fine. That's fine. After he posts that poll, I think it was after he posted the poll, 9 hours, and that one's 4 hours. I think those run for 24 hours. Yeah, so close enough. So I woke up this morning and going through messages and alerts and all that stuff, making sure everything is still alive and well, and thankfully, that is definitely the case. But as for Tim, him being caught in a lie, deception, a story where he had a bad take and his ego can't get out of the way fast enough in order for him to be honest about it, is really starting to weigh on his bald old dome. I realized last night, I guess he was, just awake at night wondering if there's an errant producer wandering around his hall so he can get his dick wet. I realized last night that there is a radical misalignment between my values and many of the largest culture warriors. Oh, here, now, all of a sudden... Tim's starting to realize, oh no, there's an ideological difference between me and everybody else. And he's the principal Skinner meme where it's, is there something wrong with what I'm thinking about? No, it's all the kids. This guy, man. The death threats, revenge porn, etc. Sorry, what? What are we doing now? All of a sudden, now this is the hill you're gonna pull the I'm getting death threats card on. What are you doing, bro? Revenge porn? Are you trying to say when your boy got felt up on by Eliza's cloven hoof, that's revenge porn? It didn't go that far. Everybody was fully clothed, thankfully. I don't need to see Weird Boy's old crooked crank. People are not willing to stand up for their businesses, schools, to stop kids from being castrated. No, I think there was people actually going to do stuff instead of just complaining about it multiple times on the internet and not providing any solutions. Oh, the right needs to fight back. The right fights back. No, not like that. Okay, Tim, you're useless. Thanks for your commentary. Thanks for alerting us to this situation, but as for, backing anything up, you're not providing anything of value. But yeah, there were school board meetings. There were actual protests going on at the time. But nobody wants to talk about, standing up for their stuff. Except for the people that actually did. But hey, man, talking in generalities. He'll get to his specificity because he wants to bob and weave. Because, let's be honest, there's another reason why I'm so entrenched in this story. It's pointing out bitch-made behavior. Female mindsets being played out in real time. Tim Pool comes from a feels before reals interpretation of the world. Because this is something else that I pondered for a very long time, and I think I'm closer than ever to figuring out exactly what is the origin point of all of this societal conflict, the culture war, the ideological divide, whatever you want to call it. I really think it's the idealists versus the realists, the shoulds and the ises. I really think that's what it is. People who can see the world, interpret what is in front of them, and then move accordingly. Whereas the other people see the world as they want it to be and act in accordance with their perception of that. Not understanding that, okay, you want something to be done? There are certain things that need to happen in order for that to be the case. You can't just have your own political mindset, stand in front of the legislature, scream your policies at the top of your lungs. Nothing's going to change. Maybe you feel better afterwards, but that's all that Tim does in service of. It's all about making him feel better, because the moment that he's pressed up against it, he spurgs out like a 12-year-old online. And pointing that out for everybody to see, just because this is the most public display of this stuff, at least right now. There are far more emotional people that are out there, but Tim's being a pretty good case study on this stuff. And I want to give you guys these tools so that you can see them in the people in your life, because your boy Don's not going to be doing, videos on every single Tom, Dick, and Harry that's out there. You probably work with people that are like this. You might even be family members with some people that are like that, and heaven forbid you're actually married to or raising somebody that looks like that, because you need these tools right now, and you need to have solutions very quickly. Otherwise, you're in for a world of hurt, especially if it's somebody that you consider a loved one, somebody that you trust, or somebody that you consider an authority figure. And when it comes to independent journalism, that's the biggest cat out here right now. And he is, at least in my opinion, giving some bad information and lashing out irrationally. We have passive viewers and fighters. Somebody's been hip to what I'm saying. Tim has viewers. He doesn't have fans. He doesn't have supporters. He definitely doesn't have people that stand up for him and fuck with him 100%. No. You haven't gestated that support group. That takes time. That takes effort. That takes interaction. That takes a human element that is seemingly devoid. Not saying that he's not human or anything like that. It's just, his charisma's different. It's very autistic. Like, I think he could probably solve a Rubik's Cube quicker than I could. Just saying. The fighters won't fight. Mostly the machine, but they will fight for drama. The passive viewers agree, but they don't fight. The fighters won't fight. Okay, cool. Well, if you're purporting because you're just looking along your viewership and realizing nobody's coming to bat for me, so that just means that the fighters aren't on my side. If you consider yourself a general because you take a look and you see everybody else is just simply soldiers, that's a problem with the leadership. You're not inspiring. Maybe you're wrong on this, but he's come to the conclusion through a different path than I have a very long time ago. There's a certain amount of people that are going to wake up, that are going to hear this message and see it more than just simple entertainment, bashing somebody who's popular. They're going to take the tools that I'm providing to you and do something better with them in their life. I really think, and it's called, call it whatever you want, interpersonal dynamics, the red pill, whatever you want to call it. Understanding the world for what it is as opposed to what it should be. That's perfectly illustrated in part 3 of, I forget how long this thread is. It should start with Dear Diary, to be completely honest. But there he is, dealing with the world as it should be. I've got a bunch of fighters, bro, but they aren't fighting right now, and the passive viewers are just worthless. They're those members that are easily replaceable that I don't actually give a care about. It's like, bro, come on now. You need to stop doing this stuff. Videos just about me get more interest than war, economics, culture revolution. I'll just peek this. What can you actually do about that? You purport yourself to be an authority on this type of stuff, but then at the same time, whenever it's convenient for you, you can just say, I just complain online. It's like, okay, take me serious when I want you to take me serious, and then when I do anything that's wrong, something that could be personally objectionable, then you don't have to, because I'm just a nobody that's online. You can't have it both ways, bro. Even though you're trying to walk that line, especially in this situation, now that you've been caught red-handed. But more interest than war. Yeah, because you're not allowed to talk about a certain war that's going on right now with any sort of a based take on it. Unless, of course, you're over on Rumble, and then you have like a 4-hour sit-down with a guy who's over in Ukraine. Yo, shout out to Myron and Fresh and Fit over there on Rumble. Holy, they had a sit-down with Gonzalo Lira, formerly Coach Red Pill. He's over in Ukraine, and you could hear, the air raid sirens going off in the background. He's out there dropping straight facts about what's going down on the ground. Great listen. I'd encourage you if you got some time. Yo, that's where the conversations need to happen. And because the most eyeballs, it's irrefutable. The most eyeballs are on YouTube. Doesn't mean that you can't grow alternative platforms. But here's Tim, stuck in the mud. YouTube just needs to start being free speech. People need to speak up for it. Bro, there are other sites that you can use. There are other people in the sphere, in the space, commentariat section of YouTube, the news, the information, the media types, the sports types, all of those guys. They complain about YouTube non-stop, and Rumble's over there being like, yeah, you can come over and say whatever you want, and if you're compelling enough and, you actually have an audience, you have supporters that are going to rock with you wherever you go, you can do incredibly good. Like I said, and I make mention of them a bunch because I think that they do good work, and you should support the people that do good work. Fresh and Fit. You know what? Every single night, whenever they're broadcasting, they get the same amount, if not more viewers over on Rumble. And it's not a couple hundred. It's not a couple of thousand. Like, they're getting, 10, 13,000 people over on YouTube, and then it's, 13, 14, 15,000 people over on Rumble. No, those aren't people just watching on two screens, because when they go exclusively over to Rumble, 25, 30,000 people. That's real. That's real love, because Myron provides value. Tim Pool provides rage. And guess what? Rage you can get from anybody online. That's why he's not special. That's what he's realizing. I don't know if he's going to get there, but it seems to be a niggling little feeling in the back of his head. That's why politic channels make fake videos about me. No, they're very real. They're very real. And they're just comparing and contrasting your purported values with your actions and realizing that, a little bit of incongruity with one of the biggest people that are online. Hell, you do the exact same thing whenever you take shots at Fox News and CNN. I'm just saying, man, somebody's not being forthright and honest, but I said, it's a pretty good spur goat that we have here. I'm not interested in drama. Bruh, fame, yo, money, come on. Don't lie. You're a liar. I'm interested in worldly affairs. Then why have you dedicated so much of your time on social media over the past week addressing this or not addressing this? Oh, what value does Eliza Bleu have? She's a low-tier e-celebrity, and you have a multi-part expose that goes live on your channel that you guys promote all the time. Very interesting. But I'm not interested in drama, fame, or money. Okay, give up all your accounts and go live in the mountains, man. Just go ahead and adhere to your little poll out there. Give away all of your money. If it doesn't mean anything to you and none of this matters, back up your words, bro. This is why I used to travel around. Used to, but you've been pretty stagnant over the past, 3 years? Consequently, also your most successful and financially lucrative period of your career. It's just a weird coincidence, don't you think? But it seems most people either won't stand up or are only interested in drama. I'm sure that there are channels that are exclusively dedicated to covering your every single waking moment. I'm sure that those channels do exist. I know that there are, mocking Twitter accounts that are online, and you know what? You get that. You get that when you hit a certain level. Fair enough. Yo, even back when I had not even 100 subscribers, there was some troll in the comment section, and eventually he just left because stopped interacting. Guess what? What is that? Rule number 1 on the internet? Oh no, sorry. It's porn is most prevalent and it will be everywhere. And then right underneath that is don't feed the trolls. I don't care about fame and money and drama. you just continue to stoke it all the time and then reap the benefits when people watch your stuff at night. Because I'm sure 100% all of Tim's content gets monetized through the yin-yang. He doesn't have to worry about putting up a video and then just fighting through and waiting for anything to get monetized. I think one of these videos that I've done on Tim Pool and Eliza Bleu and all of this nonsense, one of them's monetized. And that didn't happen until a lion's share of the views ended up coming around. If I wanted to do this exclusively for money, I'd have little bite-sized videos throughout the day, but that's not me. I like to do a thorough breakdown on stuff. I like to cover things from toes to titties, but I understand I'm somebody different. It's been a very interesting time when it comes to YouTube because everybody's covering this. Some people, yeah, they just want to take shots at Tim Pool. Some people are actually invested in the story that's out there because if you recall, this all started with people getting struck, okay? People getting struck on Twitter, people getting struck on YouTube, and Fair and Balanced again gets another live stream or just video. Who is Eliza Bleu documentary updates with Brittany Venti and Griftcast privacy complaint, and then it just gets yeeted again. Where's Tim standing up for that? It took him a minute because we also did a recap yesterday right at the end of that video. You finally got hip to the fact that everything's getting struck and you wanted to dig into this stuff because people finally clued into it. People have been doing good work on this stuff. Are they concerned about the drama because they find that somebody's out there being a copyright cuck like your old boy Jack Murphy? Nah. Good people like Fair and Balanced. Don't like her stuff, but if she's doing good work when it comes to this, God bless. Then you got the big G. You got the top U. We'll go ahead with top U right there. That umbrella guy. That's the big homie right there. He did exceptional work during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And well before that, he was talking about that stuff. He was keeping that story alive forever. When everybody lost interest, had a bad taste in their mouth about Johnny Depp, he was still keeping it a buck. And he's been tirelessly cataloging all of these spurg outs from Eliza, from Tim, all of the bans, all of the censorship. He's doing it on Twitter. He's doing it on his channel. Is he just about the money? Is he just about the fame? Is he just about the drama? Or does he actually have standards? Does he have principles that he likes to adhere to? But you don't know, because you don't want to check in now, do you? Obviously, some people have started fighting back, running for office, making cultural content and more. And they all just consequently work for me. It's weird, right? But the real energy isn't there. How do you know? Now, okay, so you're talking about feels, you're talking about what should be, and then you're talking about energy. Are we sure this isn't Tamina? Are we sure about this? No one defended us on our principles. Yeah, because you don't even defend yourself on your principles. Just people hiding from the fight when drama psychos come out. Drama psychos that you platform, didn't want to address, continue to platform on alternative avenues on your overall platform, and then spurg out on anybody addressing the situation until you had a couple of hour 180 about you, and then you started to double down that everybody else is the problem. Come on, man. Come on. People can reply in this thread saying I'm wrong or whatever, but that's exactly my point. A misalignment in our values. You haven't really stated your values. All you've done is just say, I put out, if we can just go ahead and extrapolate your opinion, there's a misalignment of values. You're saying that one side is unenergetic and the other side is focusing their attention in the wrong avenues. Which one are you, Tim? Because you're there, you show up every day. Are you just telling us in some sort of coded subversive language that you're doing this for ulterior motives? Heaven forbid you might be projecting out there by just admitting that you're doing it for fame and fortune, perhaps? I'm just wondering. Beyond that, there are also other glaringly obvious problems. Oh, great. I've got a bunch of little phrases that I like to live my life by. Well, I've adopted some and then I've culled others, but this one's gone through different iterations, but it's something that I think is pretty important, especially if you're online at any point in time. Don't take criticism from anybody that you wouldn't take advice from. Tim, his success leaves clues. Tim directly communicating, especially by people that used to work with him, not exactly the most upright citizen. So if he's going to be pointing out critiques, I'm going to put on the old projection glasses for a second and figure out what we're dealing with here. People want to come out on the show for fame and influence. People beg me for money, for retweets, for recognition. I don't doubt that, but it's weird to try to lump people together calling you just a hypocrite into that situation. That's the power machine. No, I thought you didn't do this for power though, bro. Lots of people watch, so now people want to come on the show. It's really, it's reality, it's sad. even though you wanted your show to, in the beginning, to be just a guest show. But then it really started to pop when Adam Krigler was there and he had his own opinions and you just kind of looked like a bitch by proxy. So it's sad. It's sad that people want to come on your successful show that you ended up reworking to make it a place that can drive memberships, because that was your other dunk. The memberships are actually going up because of the quality of guests you used to get. Our guy here is talking out of both sides of his face. This has all grown way out of proportion to what I've ever wanted to do, and am no leader, no general. Yo, shit, he actually mentions it right there. Then why do you look around and see yourself as some sort of a superior, some sort of an elevated figure? It's probably because you're short and you need to stand on something in order to see very far. But it's funny. It's very funny because this is a very feminine viewpoint. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with females thinking as well. Hell, I encourage that, in fact. But no, this is maybe it's a little bit more appropriate to say the feminist view of things, where women are dichotomous beings. At one point in time, they are totally independent boss babes who can do anything that a man can do, and hell, they can even do it better and pregnant. Great, wonderful, fantastic. So you're autonomous beings. Great, fantastic. But anything bad that happens to them, oh man, I was forced to do this stuff. I was basically trafficked to be there. And that would be a good transition point to talk about Eliza, but we still have a little bit more in this thread. But hey man, the feminine viewpoint, the feminized mind. There we go. That's maybe a little bit better of a term to use. But the feminized viewpoint is that, yep, you're the autonomous driver of the vehicle that is your life, but when anything bad happens, it's just simply black ice. That's what Tim's doing right now. It's my show, all of my branding, but I'm no leader. I'm no general. Very interesting. Very interesting. I just wanted to read the news and learn about how the world works. Then why'd you turn on the camera? Why'd you buy a microphone? Why'd you get a studio? If that's all you wanted to do, great, wonderful, fantastic. You'd be the most well-versed little creep that everybody would just go, yeah, no, he's just a pain to talk to. Talking about it was a byproduct of wanting to experience it. Yeah, we know your Batman origin story. You went down to Occupy Wall Street, and the stalking really gets me. Sorry, what? Hard turn here. Yeah, I understand. Okay, I've talked about this repeatedly over the past year. I did miss a tweet. Sorry, my mistake. See, I can own up to my mistakes. Anyways, and it just keeps growing. Okay, weird. It's calorie deficit and it'll stop growing. The expansion seems infinite and it seems like a mistake. Yo, man, this is a guy who's really going through some shit right now. I've talked about this repeatedly for the past years, especially with the death threats, swatting, burglaries, and stalkers. Yeah, swatting is atrocious and terrible, and you made a lot of money off of those swattings. But again, I'm sure you definitely didn't. Take this with 100% sincerity. You didn't stage any of the swattings. Totally understand that. And the fact that that is not a prosecutable offense and somebody doesn't have to put down their name in order to be contacted if it ends up turning out to be false should be a crime right up there with false allegations. Both of those should be prosecutable offenses. That's my opinion on things. Is it like that though? No. Are there people that should be pushing that? Of course. And if that's a position Tim wants to adopt and something that he wants to champion loudly, maybe he'll actually have a purpose in life instead of just being the old rage merchant online. Then he wouldn't be thinking about, just growing some empire and it's just gone beyond his control. Wow, if you actually had a purpose and you had the ability to scale it up, if you didn't surround yourself with dorks all the time who will sell out the integrity of your company at a moment's notice, well, then you might just be able to have a talent role and then other people can do the business on the outskirts. But yeah, death threats, you're online, bro. It happens, okay? Burglaries, yeah, I thought Vosh ended up stealing something from his place or something like that. Yeah, no, that's... all of those are bad, but it doesn't obfuscate from the fact that you called everybody who was your detractor a paid bot, a shill, and a drama vlogger. Just because you want to try to pull the victim card now, it's not going to wipe any of that away. The stalking really gets me. People crying, begging to be let in. Yo, former employees centering their whole lives around me. Ooh. I can only think of a couple, and he did one video, and then you cried on camera afterwards, refuting it. And shout out to Adam Krigler for doing good work in the aftermath and really developing his own brand and having a wife and probably a kid in the future. Ooh, something. Oh, maybe that's a sore spot for Tim. Okay. It's crazy. For what reason? Because you're kind of a detestable person? Level of obsession some people have with me terrifies me. Oh my god, this is just, there's not a plug for an OnlyFans at the end of this. Oh my god, we've seen this so many times. I'm so tired of all my fans coming around me. Bruh, come on. Level of obsession have with me terrifies me, not because of the fear of my safety, but because I work with because I worry about human priorities. What? Yeah, see, he does good work, not like everybody else who detracts from me, who calls me and brings me to task. Sure thing. Oh, there are people built for this type of life, but it ain't me. Then just stop. You've gone through these spurgouts before. Like after you fired Adam Krigler and then you just went on your Sulkcast IRL and was like, oh no, I don't want to address anybody in the chat right now. I wasn't really watching all that closely when Jack Murphy stuff went down, but I'd imagine it was probably of the similar tone and tenor. But bro, if you're unhappy, you've made millions of dollars, you've got your own studio, hell, you're just renovating your old green room for Christ's sakes. You can peace out, you can take some time off. But then, oh, that's a double-edged sword now, isn't it? Because you realize you have viewers, you don't have supporters. It's because of actions like this. It's because of incongruity in statements and actions because they don't line up. You purport yourself to be one thing, and then you act as another. Oh well. Obviously, I consistently break all the rules of PR. Yeah, you're such a rebel on your YouTube channel, making sure to shout out, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune back in at the same time every single day so you can get the same vanilla coverage of the whatever topic I'm discussing. Oh, is this one about throwing perfectly working titties into the trash can, or whatever the politically correct version of that is, but he breaks all the rules of PR. Ugh, I doubt it. People simultaneously demand that I don't bow to the mob, but also I'm arrogant for not doing what the mob says. Lol. No, just don't be a liar. Don't be projecting. People wanted you to talk about Eliza. She's been on your show a couple of different times. If you don't want to discuss it, if you're not going to get versed in the topic, there's other things that you would like to discuss. Just mention, yeah, she was a former she was a former two-time panelist on the show. She spoke her piece. Censorship is bad in all forms. That's what I talk about in my videos all the time. I'd have to do a little bit more digging, but I'm not very fluent on that situation right now. And then you can move on. People are obviously going to spurg out because you wouldn't be talking about that, but people are going to spurg out regardless. Like, you've got your army of support out there from people that like access to your network, or people that maybe generally like you. Can't make everybody happy, bro. And that's supposed to be the part about reading the news and interpreting it. Some people will be pissed off by your interpretations, other people will appreciate for it. You know this. But you're just trying to pull the victim card now because, hey man, you're getting called to the carpet. Oh, this last year we've been swatted 15 times. I think it's related to stalkers of mine and former employees. There's 3 former employees. Well, okay, he's got a fairly extensive crew of people that work for him in any form or fashion. I know one wants nothing to do with him, another one he used to fuck, and a Seamus cat. Not entirely sure what he does. He's got the Freedom Tunes channel, right? Yeah. It's like Adam rarely brings him up. I don't know what Lydia's doing, and Seamus I always thought was annoying anyways. Cartoons are fine. But yeah, maybe there are some other people that used to work for you that, you know, are crazy and that stuff. But what are you doing to prevent yourself from this happening? Did you get in good with the local police department? Instead of them swatting you all the time, they can place a phone call if they're coming over to, you know, just check in and do a wellness check with you specifically. Are you taking any preventative measures, or do you just want to get the virtue points every time that it happens? Just wondering. We have had a few burglaries that I chose not to prosecute. Well, see, that's your fault right there, my guy. I want to complain about the burglaries, but I also don't want to stop them. It's like, hey, another old story. You got the dog on the porch with the thorn in his paw, and he's just whimpering, and a guy walks past, notices the dog, sees that he's in pain and wants to help him out, but when he goes to remove the thorn from his paw, he gets snapped at by the dog, and the owner comes out after the ruckus and asks the guy, well, what are you doing with the dog? Oh, the dog was whimpering because he had a thorn in his paw. And then the owner of the dog says, oh yeah, no, he's had it in there for a while. And it's like, well, why don't you do anything about it? Well, because, you know, it hurts enough to get sympathy for it, but it doesn't hurt enough in order to take it out. That's what you're doing, man. You're getting burgled. That sucks. If you know who it is, prosecute them to enforce it so that nobody else is going to do that into the future. But if you're just going to complain about it, well, make a video about it then. Christ almighty, if you do. But you don't want to do it for the money or anything. You just want the attention, like an Instagram thought? Come on now, bro. But yes, I chose not to prosecute what results in collateral damage to my business and property because of how the law works. Do you also read the law? Because somebody steals something that's not theirs, that, depending on how much stuff they steal, that could be a misdemeanor, or that could be a felony. One person tried using burglarizing my studio to get James O'Keefe and Andy No's home address. Long story, but yup, why'd you bring it up then if you're not going to elaborate? You just wanted some sympathy, and hey, don't worry guys, my story's 100% legit. Hopefully you forgot about me disparaging everybody that's out there. Either we pay legal fees to block it, or we drop the charges. It was a trick. Oh my god, how much more? Okay, fine, thank god. The amount of back-end shit that goes on to make this machine works is a bit crazy. Yeah, you should outsource that, 100%, man. If you had good people around you, they would notice that you are getting frazzled and that you need some people to handle the business end of this stuff. And it's a bit too much for me to what end I ask is, what is the goal? What is the fight for? Again, if you don't have a purpose, I don't know what to tell you, man. Start with why. That's the one good thing about that Simon Sinek book. It has a catchy title. It's shit dog shit. Oof. I don't recommend it at all. More rage bait, more fake news, more lying celebrities, more personalities saying the same thing that the mob wants to hear. Yeah, but nobody fights and nobody stands up for the good causes that's out there. It's everybody else's fault except for Tim. I swear, maybe he's just hiding a big nipple under that beanie. More politicians proposing nothing, trading stocks, lying on the news, like AOC talking about Boston Children's Hospital. Humans, am I right? Yes, fellow kids. I'm just like you. How many years will the Democrats propose how many the debate term limits? Bro, you're laborious. Okay. At a certain point, I just stop and say I've talked about the 73 times already. Oh, don't want to overestimate. Heaven forbid I be hyperbolic. But I'm over it now. Are you really? I look forward to being some old man. The kids are like, old man Poole once bought a billboard in Times Square. It's not about the money or fame. And I yell, get off my property, you damn kids. Okay, go do that. You're what, 30? You're about to turn 34 years old, maybe 37. Bro, these are supposed to be the peak years of your life. And by all accounts, they actually are by every conceivable metric. You're wildly successful. You're the biggest new independent news site online, probably by views at least. Like, there are bigger channels that are out there, but somebody who does this day in, day out, there's nobody bigger that's out there. So your status is absolutely 1000% on point. Your money is astronomical. I'm not pocket watching or anything. I'm just simply extrapolating from what I can see. You're in good condition. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're not a physical disaster. Pause. You're young enough to still take full advantage of all this stuff, and you're old enough to have all of the experience. You are right at your peak value, and you're wasting it by spurging it out on Twitter? Bro, when it's all said and done, it's just a girl, man. It's just a girl. Move on with your life. But that girl right there, well, that's Eliza Bleu, of course, and looking at how long this video is going to be, we might go for a record on this one. Where we left her last time, probably in a little bit more of a trepidatious situation than Tim, but ooh, it's tough to say who is actually spiraling more. I'm just wondering. So, according to Eliza, WorldStar, Google, YouTube, and Twitter have removed the WorldStar video. They removed the video a while ago. Yeah, and you were still striking, sending out privacy requests on a bunch of different YouTube channels afterwards, but that's nice. Post whatever negative words, pictures, questions, memes of me that you want. I don't care. Great. I'm going to continue to do it. I didn't need your permission either because it's all fair use content. I prefer folks not post sexual imagery of me. Yeah, I don't think you have any nudes that have leaked so far, because that would have been front page news. To be honest, including nude, partially nude. Well, yeah, some of that performance material was scantily clad. I haven't asked for censorship of words. Come on now, we know that's not true. Any screenshots or reposts of the WorldStar video specifically can get your account in trouble on multiple platforms at your request. These are not my rules. No, they are, because without your impetus, without your ability to enforce a privacy concern, those strikes wouldn't exist. So you're lying. Stop lying. These are not my rules, and it's not a threat. I'm just letting you know because there is confusion. It's just perfect womanese right there. Hey, let me just go ahead and obfuscate the situation by telling you the definition of this term that I want you to believe, not the one that's actually happening. No, these are just somebody else's rules. I'm not in control of any of this stuff. I can't tell you what you can and can't do, but if you do anything that I was originally big mad about in the beginning, well, that'll get you struck, and that'll land your channel or your profile in serious hot water buster. I don't understand why folks would want to post sexualized imagery of me because I'm a survivor. There's no reason to post nude, partially nude, or sexually suggestive imagery of me. Well, it's all over the internet, and again, I've never seen the nudes. I'm not looking for them either. I'm just expecting them to come out in some form or fashion. I'm a 41-year-old professional woman with a career. What do you do, exactly? Because you seem to claim a lot of things. I'm a survivor of human trafficking and a survivor advocate. Yeah, that's become painfully obvious what you think your survivor story is, but alright. I'm not particularly sure what it is about my body that folks wanted to see so badly. No. Nobody wanted to see any of this stuff. Like, it all started with Brittany Venti just asking you a question. Hey, you said that you were trafficked during this time. And you say that you're an advocate. What's with this video that's online? And then all of a sudden things just started to disappear. It was never about your body. It was just about your own inability to ask a question. So again, stop twisting this stuff. Stop it. The stunt didn't prove that I'm not a survivor of human trafficking. Nobody alleged that until you started to throw that out as a shield. I'm a survivor of human trafficking. That's nice, because it really comes across authentically when you have to keep reiterating your point over and over again. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. At some point, you're just the boy who cried wolf. I'm so grateful for the woman I've become despite my past. God did that. Yes, take the God pill, kids. You'll find a good woman at church. And 41-year-old ran through thought. I feel so digitally sexually exploited on a massive scale that it's hard to articulate. Digitally sexually exploited. I think that's a category over on the hub. On a massive scale that it's so hard to articulate, my body and trauma has once again provided funding for others' personal gain. No, you were compensated. World Star came out and said that. But she's no longer, she's no longer feeling blessed. The only thing that I can possibly think to do is to turn this pain around to help others in similar situations. Yeah, that's what you could have done to begin with without lying about your own backstory. Come on now. There's nothing wrong with advocating. Again, nothing wrong with advocating for people who have been through human trafficking. Wanting to stop human trafficking is a laudable cause. You just got caught in a lie and you can't fess up to it. That's the problem people are having. On top of the fact that you're kind of a censorship queen and you don't want to fess up to it. Folks think I have the power, but I didn't. I didn't have any way to stop what is currently even happening to my own body via imagery on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram on the profiles that are still there. Anyways, my entire fight this entire time was to stop what's happening to me from happening to others. So are you conflating just some flattering screenshots? I guess if you're into that kind of thing. Slightly overweight women. Older women. Is that your definition of trafficking? Because now, oh, Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to make of this because it's just so absurd. I would like to think that it's satire, kind of like a failed attempt that Tim was doing about an AOC impression and then a Tate impression. I hope that this is just maybe some dry British wit. I don't think she is, though, but we can glean from it what we can. Today, I've decided to change my story as a survivor. Are you going to be accurate? Are you going to be truthful? Spoilers, no. I have been abused a third time on a massive digital scale. Oh, it's called image-based sexual abuse. Are you making this up? Because this would be funny. Like, you could be reinvented as a comedian. Hey, it was just all an act, bro. Eliza Kaufman. It's got a good ring to it. Every individual who knowingly profited off this content without my consent has become my abuser in my story. Yes! Actually, joke's on her. The checks have never cashed. They've been sent out by 2 different PR firms, so. You didn't fight censorship. You fought to exploit me. And I'd do it again. Nude, partially nude, sexually suggestive content without my consent. If you would have asked, I wouldn't have consented. Okay, cool. You should have asked for consent. Would you have afforded it? No. Oh, okay, cool. Well, the videos are still publicly available. Okay, hurry up and take them down. Yeah, well, we got screenshots. You believed that I consented previously, so you decided to take my body. Are you talking to anybody in particular here, Eliza? Come on now. Use it for your own gain. So, to prove that I'm not a survivor made me a victim again. You can never say that I'm not a survivor of exploitation now because you made me once again. Remember how I was making mention of Tim Pool with his feminine mindset? Yeah, this is exactly just the perfect analogy right here. I'm a human trafficking survivor. I'm going to use all of my pain. I'm updating my story so that I can be a better survivor in the future and a better advocate for other survivors. But then at the same time, you guys did all of this stuff to me by using perfectly lawful material. They're trying to have it both ways, kids. What's the difference between this type of a mentality and a leftist saying a woman is whatever they want to be. Just wondering. You didn't fight to expose government malfeasance or tech censorship. Yeah, but I thought I was. I thought a bunch of other people also agreed with that. Oh, well. So you win some, you lose some, I guess. You fought to post my body without consent, and I'm doing it again. I will continue to do it again because, well, it listens that kind of response, and I don't listen to women. So, here we are. Part 3. Looks like, I'm not entirely sure that part 3 was written before the first 2 came out, because you can take a look at the byline even. How to survive a Psy-Op and a puff piece. A lot of people were using that puff piece verbiage. And as a fellow abuser, I've used it a lot as well. An abuser in the Eliza sense, I'd never hit a woman outside of a consensual content. But it looks like our buddy Shane's here is back, and ooh, lashing out irrationally is one way to put it. There are people in this world who will destroy you for fame, cash, or chaos, and you're employed by one of them. Oh no, right, he's not about that life. Sometimes, some people seek your destruction because they think you deserve it. Other times, the hate is fueled by ignorance. We've seen the situation play out multiple times before. Somebody's taking this personally. I believe this whole Eliza Bleu controversy was a psychological operation. Yeah, is that where this context comes from? Because this was tweeted out in accordance alongside part 3 of this nauseating piece, to be completely honest, because again, I don't think that Shane Cashman is an exceptionally gifted journalist, but he's published, I guess, whatever, man. So they bring this out as well. So Shadowbox. First paragraph of this letter reads, Shadowbox is an elite team of online specialties that can respond to a variety of client situation and needs based on real-time events. We use a combination of tactics and strategies to effectively promote your content, operation, and services. Oh, so this is that paid PR campaign that Tim Pool and Tim Pool alone alleges, and also adopted by his journalist. We use a combination of tactics and strategies to efficiently promote your content, operation, or services to create viral marketing campaigns that effectively target organic growth systems. That's interesting because, okay, just as a personal anecdote, and I understand that, you know, my one instance is not indicative of what everybody else is doing, but it'll suffice for just a simple example. Since Sunday, all of the videos that I've done on Eliza Bleu, Tim Pool, the ones that I've done, you know, every single day, so what is it, 5 in total, have had more views than everything else that's on the channel. That's all fine and all that stuff. It's great. It's wonderful to spread awareness and then also, you know, help people, you know, maneuver bullshit that's out there. It's great. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. It's a great launching off point. But it's also had more interaction, way more content, or way more comments than I've ever seen from some, you know, even high profile individuals as well, which is very weird to say because whenever I, legitimately, this is my mind frame, whenever I pick a topic to discuss, I never think anybody's going to watch this stuff. I always anticipate just going back and seeing that, I don't know, maybe myself just to proof watch the stuff to make sure that it goes through. That's the only person that's going to be looking at it. But to see thousands of views on videos, it's still wild and a little bit unsettling, to be completely honest, but I'm thankful that you guys like this stuff, and that's great. And all the comments that are on there that, unfortunately, I can't read through all of them. It would just take up way too much time, and you see how long this video is. I'd be here forever if I was sifting through the hundreds, might even be thousands of comments at this point in time, but that is more interaction than even the stuff from last year with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, which I think probably in totality got more views, spread across more content, but this stuff is getting far more interaction, far more likes, not so many downvotes, which is kind of interesting. Just goes to show that the longer form content, breaking this stuff down, as opposed to, because everybody else's stuff that I'm seeing on this is like, yeah, the 5 to 10 minute stuff, which is totally fine if you just want to do the quick hitter stuff. I'm just taking a different approach because, you know, you boys built different. But the hundreds of likes, just all of the interaction that's there, did a relative nobody stimulate that type of manufactured organic growth? Or is it just legitimately people that are out there asking some questions and not being provided the response that they think is adequate and seeking some clarification? But no, it's just bots. It's just bot campaign. We take targeted marketing to a new level of access by identifying positive and negative promoters to prudently manage social online presence and engagement in real time, which translate to sales or higher visibility. interesting. Oh yeah, and to just piggyback off of this story, my own personal anecdote for a second. Yeah, it's like, okay, all of those videos, thousands of views, hundreds of comments, hundreds of upvotes, and just overall interaction through the roof. Then how do you explain the rest of my non-Eliza Bleu, non-Tim Pool content also on an upward trajectory as well? More interaction, more comments, and all that stuff in there as well. It doesn't really make all that much sense if this was just supposed to be a targeted campaign for organic growth on certain topics. Just wondering, man. Maybe this is just one of the most sophisticated algorithms that the world has ever seen, and that they're using it for this situation. Doesn't make much sense. According to Tim, there's far more substantive topics for people to be discussing. You can also help mitigate militia-like tactics used in targeting harassment campaigns to effectively thwart and vanquish internet threats, character assassination attempts, deleterious media, embarrassingly or potentially damaging links on Google. Okay, Google is lowercase, that's weird. We act as your silent partner and protection in the vast online world and offer you cutting-edge tactics. Our experts range from covert reputation strategists to technical specialists and PR experts with global influence caliber contacts. We specialize in uncovering unique intelligence and social business interaction methodologies and apply them to ensure rapid deployment of virality across social media spectrum. Oh great, so another thing that's on the spectrum. How adorable. Our researchers uncover what others cannot using cutting-edge intelligence mapping. Maps belong on walls. Systems, private detective networks, ex-intelligence agents and officers. What is this? Here's another puff piece. Okay, cool. So here's what they actually do, because we got some sort of PR presentation to begin with. That's the only PR presentation I've seen so far. Shadowbox is your army. We are army. We are legion. Okay. We solve your problems and expose truth. No, only Tim knows the truth, and nobody wants to support him in his holy endeavor. We unleash a multifaceted strategic battle plan through integrated research, earned media, legal, and digital chaos. Wait, what? Chaos is a latter. Where your enemies have lied to paint you as the bad guy. Oh, no, I'm the bad guy. Oh, I'm the bad guy. We sow the seeds of doubt and present the counter narrative that they are, in fact, the villains, and you have been unjustly accused. We do this through sophisticated use of internet technology, meme creation. Oh, so that's, you needed to hire a digital campaign apparatus in order to figure out that, Eliza Bleu in a gray t-shirt with her pink hair would really look good with a Jack Murphy cuck beard. Needed to outsource that material. Sure thing. PR and cyber guerrilla tactics that stop the bleeding and begin to sway public opinion and the media in your favor. We haven't even got what they highlighted at the bottom. I'm just wondering, man, like, what does this have to do with anything, to be completely honest? You wanted to attach this to your article, so there's got to be something backing this up. Hopefully we find out. Shadowbox designs crisis management counterinsurgencies. Sounds very technical. To debunk and hit back at malicious and defamatory online and media attacks on our clients. Our operation units effectively routes advertisers away from you, sending them to chase phantoms and rendering them exhausted and perplexed. Yeah, okay, everybody's after Tim except for Tim. Okay, great, wonderful, fantastic. Don't care. So that's why Shane Cashman believes the Eliza Bleu controversy is a Psy-Op. All right then, that's interesting. A coordinated hit job, orchestrated hate, and then everyone bought into it. Oh, right, because it couldn't just be somebody striking channels, not addressing it, and then just also having the worst take in the beginning by saying all of that sensitive information that was leaked online, that's what's leading to the bans. And it's like, no, it's not. That was publicly available information. There's nothing new about it at all whatsoever. And then flexing your contacts at Twitter, lording them over everybody else, and people could just go back and start looking at your stuff. Your content, not your tits or anything like that. Haven't seen any of those. Don't want to either. Psy-Op grew so loud that it was the only thing people could hear. Right, because we're all just so stupid. We all just simply have one-track minds. Okay, and I'm disappointed in everyone who fell for it. See, it's everybody else is stupid except for the people under the beanie banner. Just fuck off. I don't respect the way that most people handled it. Yo, man, I just said that you're a shitty journalist, but hey, man, if you want to be, like, real in your feelings about this, Oh well, seems like you found a home there. I don't know why Tim's so upset about not being able to attract some people that can help him out in this fight. The Civil War, if you will. I don't respect the way most people handled it, but I believe in redemption. Yes, see, cleanse yourself, sinners. I shouldn't negate the real controversies I enjoy about censorship and the tech elites bubble. Yeah, see, I care about the ones that I do, and the ones that I don't. They're just all psyops. Okay. Mostly directed at targeted harassment that was disguised as some kind of Twitter heroism. Kind of like what your boss did in that thread. Interesting. I believe the entire smear campaign was manufactured. Yo, we've heard this time and time again. You called everybody leeches. You said everything was a psy-op, and now it's all manufactured. I'm clearly synthetic. I'm definitely just an agent of the Matrix over here. Just a digital representation. Fuck off. It grew into something organic. Oh, right. Now you're trying to cover all your bases because of a lot of real people interact with so many bots. Now we just went to the source material. Brittany Venti, Yellow Flash, quartering to begin with. All of those people, they're all bots though. They just exist online. Hey, have you actually seen Jeremy Hambley in the flesh? Have you seen Brittany Venti in the flesh? Do you even know the real name of Yellow Flash? I don't think so. Clearly, they're all bots. You don't read things fully. Oh, okay. You don't go beyond the clickbait. Yeah, that's why my engagement on all of these videos is on and around a quarter in the length of whatever given video it is. Yeah, people don't go beyond the clickbait. Okay. It's nearly impossible to tell them apart. Everything is bots, except for the parts of it that aren't bots, but everybody covering this stuff is simply inorganic clickbait. All right. That's why you have coverage that ranges in coverage from huge channels, multi-million sub channels, to people with a couple dozen subscribers. Videos that range in 3, 5, 10 hour plus long, 3 hour long live streams. It's all the same. It's just all clickbait. This really reminds me of you look at Trump supporters, and half of them you can work with, and another half of them you can just put them in the basket of deplorables. Okay, it's nearly impossible to tell them apart. Look at how by the time the story wormed its way up to some of the most well-known political commentators. Oh, see, it's only valid whenever your boss mentions it. Okay. Because it was immediately snatched up by the quartering? He does politics. I don't know why you think that should be the authority about covering this stuff. They're thinking Eliza was a general employee at Twitter. I thought this was supposed to be a Eliza expose, but now you're just running cover for you and your boss's bad takes and terrible journalism? Okay. It's maddening having to watch a story mutate like this. Well, why don't you just report the truth, my guy? But we grow up talking in the game of telephone for a reason. No, we can all. That's one of the wonderful things about social media is the internet doesn't forget, and the posts are still up there, and if they aren't up, they're archived. Bro, the only person who's gaslighting this situation is Eliza by rewriting her story unironically by saying that she was digitally trafficked. Come on, man. As much as everybody's crying, it's just crying. See, your critiques and your information isn't valid. You're just crying, bro. Stop crying. How Eliza's situation was a case for gatekeeping on podcasts as much as they ridiculed show hosts for not properly vetting their guests. Yeah, see, we fucked up, but you can't hold that against us because other people fuck up. Yeah, like backing over your neighbor, but then just saying, oh, the van of peace, bro. Like, just stop it. These very same people hadn't vetted the one person that started the entire controversy in the first place. Yeah, see, because everybody else fucked up, you also can't question our former porn star. I'm sorry, Booker, right. In the wake of the Twitter suspensions connected to the World Star Hip Hop video, a lot of YouTube commentators started saying that podcasts should start vetting their guests better. Wow, that is a broad generalization. You normally don't see this level of journalism outside of, Salon magazine. Holy. I would suggest that the same should go for your sources of information. Yeah, that's why I can only speak for myself in this situation. The people that I also support and think that do really good work, they go to the source material. They ask the people that are on the other side of these strikes, and then they go cross-reference with the people that they believe are authoring said strikes. No, but right, everybody's just, this is all just clickbait stuff, right? Okay, I understand. I would suggest that some of you should check your sources. Check your sources, bro. What's your study? Cite your sources. the people you are willing to pal around with as they mock someone's downfall. This would be better if he was saying this into a mirror. Again, man, copy editor, that would help. It all started with a man we'll call the Gangstalker. This was supposed to, how many times have we seen Eliza's name? Just a couple of times, and that's in passing reference. But now we're going to talk about the Gangstalker. Runs a circle that's been accused of controlling hundreds, if not thousands, of bogus Twitter accounts. Yes, it's all sock puppet accounts. Buying black SUVs and parking outside people's homes to intimidate. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's all just a targeted attack. That's why we did the first thing. What was it, Shadowbox or something like that? They're the guys with the SUVs outside your house. You're not crazy. I'm crazy. No, wait, you're crazy. We're all crazy. It's fine. Just do good work somewhere. This man puts a lot of effort into making sure everybody knows who he is. This is how he's going to paint his critics now. It's like, bro, you're just bad at your job. Gangstalker says he works for money. He says he works for fame. Oh, he thinks... but I think he mostly wants chaos amongst the independent media landscape. Well, that's nice. Gangstalker is affiliated with a supposedly defunct company called Shadowbox. And there you go. We already read through all of this stuff. I don't believe ruining Eliza was their main goal. Why would you even think that this was the thing? Bro, you can go back to tweet number 1 saying that people were sharing explicit material. And if you don't want to do it and you just want to gaslight everybody, fuck it. I will. This is the initial tweet, January 20th. It wasn't that difficult to find. It was just a lot of scrolling and a lot of cat pictures, because whenever people are caught in the shit, they just like to post animal pictures. It's fucking weird. I'm going to address this one time and one time only. A non-consensual photo of me was posted yesterday on Twitter. No, it's an entire Psy-Op, right? The photo has been removed. The source of the photo has been contacted. I'm preparing to escalate things to the full extent of the law. The screenshot in question appears to have originated from a YouTube video publicly available on YouTube for several years, and it was fact-checked. That was out there. It was hilarious, but all of that, clearly a Psy-Op, right? The Gangstalker has also laughed about one associate who used to gangstalk tactics and drive 2 people to commit suicide. See, we're on the good side of people, because our ideological enemies forced people to self-delete. It's a big play, man, but not exactly setting yourself up for anything here. Reader, you must be vigilant not to open strange links from people pretending to be your friend. Likewise, you shouldn't be inviting people onto your platform or writing an 80,000 word diatribe for just an obvious clout goblin. What are we doing here? You must remain vigilant, because we can't be asked to do that. You need to discern it for yourself. That you are not sharing too much personal information with somebody you think is an ally. I've seen this happen to colleagues in the past few weeks, including myself. Of course, it's not all manufactured, but I'm positive a lot of it is. My theory. Oh, here we go. Let's peer into the mind of a simp. Oh, I'm sorry. A good journalist. Say there was a man who sold subscriptions to be a part of his private group. Jack Murphy. We'll just call this person, yeah, Jack Murphy. The man talked about honesty, fatherhood, and masculinity. Oh, is he actually doing this? Or is he just going to try to conflate it with Tate? Because, hey, see, Tate's a bad guy, and this is all just orchestrated by his fans. Earned a lot of members, his platform grew, and then he disappeared as frequent guests on many popular podcasts. It would come to light. Just the extent that they're going to run cover for this bitch is hilarious. Everyone found out that this man had done porn in the past. No, this actually might be Jack Murphy. Written articles about some strange sex practices. Yeah, like being a cuck. And suddenly explicit images of him began to circulate around the internet. Yeah. Similar situation, but totally different. When this happened, we saw a distinct fracture in the way YouTube personalities discuss the situation. Not really. Everybody was like, let's all laugh at the cuck. The man in question was practically banished, pushed outside of our polite society. No, he spurged out, and everybody rightly called him out on his spurg out. But in this situation, that's a little bit different, because she does good work, bro. I found his story to be perverse. Oh my god. See, he's a good guy because he thinks that shoving dildos in your ass is an act of perversion. And he needs to tell you about it in order for you to know that. Ugh. But I also believe in redemption and that people can change. Yeah, that's nice. Wonderful. He's just trying to rationalize his lifetime membership to the liminal order. Sucks to suck, I guess. Could always be off base, but the researching the Gangstalker and the wild claims he made, such as starting QAnon. Yo, who's this? Bro, you're just making people up. I see, I found this one site that's out there, and they say that they do this stuff, and my boss said on a podcast that this is a PR campaign. In a recent live stream, the Gangstalker created the website Helen Troy Modeling, registered on February 2nd, 2023, populated with old photos of Eliza Bleu. No, I found the Instagram page, and it's been open since all the posts are from 2014, but yeah, okay, cool. You found a website. That's great. I didn't get paid for my exploits. I guess that just makes me stupid then. Anyways, but I talked to a model. Who would very much like to remain anonymous. Yeah, like everybody. I got to see all the names of the people that trafficked Eliza, but I can't share them with anybody. But bro, they're definitely real. This was supposed to be about Eliza. This is just it's all a Psy-Op, bro, because I've got this one idea in my head. Fuck off. Instead of jumping on a pot to pile someone before anyone knows the full story, it's like, this is one that we can just skip over more than anything else, mostly because where's the Eliza part? That's just what I want to know about. This right here, you're just running cover for really bad takes you and everybody in your close proximity have had about this situation. We've all participated in a Psy-Op. See, it's all right. You've been taken advantage of before. We're just smart enough to be able to spot it and be able to tell you that you're being taken advantage of. Not that you remember seeing things specifically, and we're not gaslighting you. Hell, what even is the term gaslighting? But we know about the Gangstalker and Shadowbox. They seek to make you feel paranoid. No, that's what Timcast does, because he doesn't provide any answers. He doesn't provide any substance. And then he spurgs out and pulls the victim card so that everybody can be, oh, it's okay, Tim, that's fine. And then he'll just take a couple of days off, and then he'll just come back, and I don't know, maybe he's going to pray for a terrorist attack over the weekend. So Monday he can just pop back on and have something to discuss that has nothing to do with Eliza Bleu, except for if anything does blow up, then everybody can say, oh, that got blued up. And, oh, so you know who else got blued up? Anyways, he's a recent conversation. Oh, here's a recent conversation between two of the Gangstalkers. Bro, get off this topic. Nobody fucking cares. Jesus. Doomsday clock ticks closer to the end. Oh, is this finally the end of this nonsense? That is wonderful. The nukes have shrunk down to a virus-sized weapon. The thought, a simple thread on Twitter that doesn't make sense once you realize Eliza was born in 1981. No, she was 17 in 2006 or something like that, right? Right, when she was trafficked. Oh, that she was trafficked 2 times. I don't have enough proof that she lied. I believe her. Of course, you hashtag believe all women. That's why you can't take advice. That's why you can't pal around with guys that aren't good with women, because they will end up fucking everything up. I don't need anyone to feel the same I do about her story. Yeah, it's all about feels. What about reals? I don't have enough proof to prove that she lied. I just gotta take her at her word. No. Investigate all claims. Don't believe all women, you dork. It's clear the loudest critics of her story hardly read. That's a very bold proclamation from somebody who clearly doesn't do his own homework. The evil thought that the Gangstalker whispers into your brain radicalizes you. This is legitimately the same as the people saying that, oh, you only hate Star Wars and Disney now is because you were watching a bunch of alt-right YouTubers. Like, bro, just fucking stop it. The internet is a wasteland. Yeah, and so is what's between your ears. The modern world looks nice with all its shiny tech. Oh my god. See, actually, we're outside the Matrix. We're the smart ones. You guys are all just caught up in here. The cat dragged a drove into the house as the sun came up. The cat dragged a drove, or a dove. Oh, a dove. Sorry, it's this video's long as shit, and that first part was just so incomprehensibly stupid. It just sapped any reading and articulation out of my skull. It was my last day in the Quad Cities. Thank God. It was strange on Twitter because it seemed like nearly everyone bought Twitter Blue because they needed the money, and the amount of blue check marks stalking me was astronomical. Oh my God, bro. I walked with the Morthland farm property with Eliza looking for that free Tesla. What are you talking about? Oh, right. Yeah, because somebody said that she was fucking Elon Musk. All of a sudden, she would have got a free Tesla out of it. Like, what? Bro, I heard you accepted grant funding. I said I didn't apply for grant funding. I didn't make a 501c3. I didn't do anything like that. Oh, this is about the Habitat house. Oh, the Humanity house. Sorry. The one that you stole money from. This might actually be something of substance. I doubt it, though. Gave him enough chances already. I didn't apply for grant funding. I didn't make it a 501c3. I didn't do anything like that. It was at a time when survivors were contacting me. It was winter and COVID was happening. Restaurants were closed, and a lot of survivors and other folks were bartenders or servers as transition jobs because you don't have a resume. Okay. So people were hitting me up, yo, I can't pay my bills. I'm going to get thrown out of my place today. And she's like, well, who do you know? And how can I benefit from this relationship? And I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to let these survivors go underwater. Yeah, but where's your humanity house? Sure. Again, this is all, I was going to do that. It's like if you live with a roommate and they say that they're going to do the dishes, but when you need a fork and all of them aren't clean, then you just do the dishes and they just walk in and it's like, oh, I was going to do that later. That's what she's doing right here. I was going to set up a survivor place, but things happened. But I totally was going to do it, bro. I put him up for a little bit. Wasn't an official organization, even though you continue to stump for money. We have the screenshots, Eliza. Stop it. You're lying. Oh, we talked about the idea of a Psy-Op and how people could create AI porn. What are we doing here? You had something to dig into right there. Oh yeah, I put people up, but yeah, nothing really materialized. Make sure to donate to one of my many GoFundMes that are out there. I'll probably make violent AI pornography with my face. Yeah, you're on the internet. Shit's gonna happen, bro. I've heard stories where kids' faces have been... Oh my god. What does this have to do with anything? Oh, right, because she thinks that anything is trafficking. That makes sense. The laws have to catch up to that. Oh, what? No, that's a weird ethical conundrum, okay? If somebody face swaps... This is purely a hypothetical. If somebody face swaps, like, a child onto a porn star, is that illegal? Does that become child pornography? Or at what point does it become a unique material? If it's something that's CG... And then you can also drag in that whole anime, what is it called, lolly or something? Yeah, lolicon, right? Where they're actually, no, they just look like a 12-year-old girl, but instead they're a 6,000-year-old dragon. And it's like, yo, anime's fucked. Dragon Ball Z and Attack on Titan, that's the only shit I care about. Yo, if you want to have those conversations, that's interesting, but at the same time, no children were actually hurt in the process of creating those materials, so... It's a moral conundrum as opposed to a legal situation, and those ideas should stay over there. But it still doesn't obfuscate from the fact that you lied to get people censored off of the internet. So it just comes back to that, or ultimately, multiple questions here for the conversation. We're functioning within a society. We live within a society where the world and the government currently, that is the way. You know the way. Do you know the way? We are evil crimes. There are evil crimes happening that seem to be beyond the scope of law. My mistake. Sorry, been standing for a while. So yeah, she just is just coming out as a big leftist right there. Big shock, I guess. The internet's gonna die. I said, stuck on the idea that AI is a nightmare. Just get off ChatGPT. If you want to talk about a Psy-Op, that's a Psy-Op. A lot of people started to reach out to me in private. Yo, bro, this is supposed to be about Eliza. It's not supposed to be about you. I think it's worth sharing a few since these are the people who hate Eliza keep hitting me up and demanding proof of her advocacy work. No, it's not her work that's in question outside of there's not a lot of receipts. She can claim that, okay, and she, retweets a bunch of different stories. That's great, okay. Sure, you might be able to apply like the false valor badge on her, but outside of that, it's a bit touch and go. So, okay, here are the people that she helps. Is there anything that's interesting or unique to a survivor advocate? Because I'm seeing some triggering words that are out there. Nora Brienne told me, after watching episode of Timcast IRL in 2021, make sure you get the branding correct, I was compelled to reach out to his guest that night, Eliza Bleu. I found her on Twitter and saw more about her advocacy for survivors of sex trafficking and activism against child porn and Pornhub. Okay. I had an account with Pornhub and deleted it. Pause. That's weird. Why would you do that? After I learned what they were doing, I opened up a conversation between me and Eliza about my history in the adult industry, specifically BDSM. Oh, okay, so you're a reformed hoe trying to do right in the world? We spoke on the phone multiple times, and she gave me resources I need to leave the adult industry. Okay, cool. Good stuff, man. I've been groomed... Oh my god, this shit. At the age of 16 by my 26-year-old boyfriend to become a dominatrix in Hollywood. Okay. Eliza offered support and advice, how to adopt to a life outside the adult industry. I'm very grateful. Yeah, no, that's wonderful and fantastic. Long desired for over 20 years. This is a healthy lifestyle. Oh no, but you just some old bitch being a dominatrix, and you got aged out of the scene, and then you just started watching some basic bitch news commentary. And then you retroactively assumed that, oh yeah, I was 16, I was groomed by my 26-year-old boyfriend. Well, first of all, if you had a decent familial structure, you at 16 wouldn't be, messing around with a 26-year-old guy. That's a pretty big age gap, and that, my friend, is actually a crime. That would be called statutory rape. So if that was true, I'm just saying there are different means than just trying to bring in extracurricular laws onto the book. Talk to Amanda Jean, who does advocacy work alongside Eliza. Okay, so you talk to some of her friends and says that she does good work, bro. They've also known known each other for several years, shared help, rescue women, bad situations, way advocates, closest women to meet her in a safe place, whatever. Lisa Habba, the Habba Law Firm, representing John Doe and number 2. Oh, Twitter, the case that Eliza pinned on her Twitter profile. Yeah, a lot of people talked about that stuff. I left Twitter in the beginning before because of that case, because, well, I actually put my money where my mouth is. And then once that all got settled and Elon Musk ended up buying out the company and then he started to do some decent shit on it, well, I came back and started shit posting. So I don't know if the site's any better off because of it, but a couple fewer pieces of exploitative, very illegal material is off the platform. I don't know what she could have done for it, but Eliza Bleu took interest in the case back when she only had a few thousand subs. Like, that's interesting. And filed on behalf of the 2 young boys that were sex trafficked, sextorted. That's a new word. Blah, blah, blah. Platform, we know that story. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Eliza has been a leader, a voice, an advocate, and a stronghold survivor advocacy and big tech responsibility. What did she do specifically? She was able to speak to Twitter's leadership. Yeah, we know she has connections, but she doesn't want to exercise them. That's weird. Eliza's advocacy and influence helped Twitter begin to shape new policies, but she has absolutely no connections, and why would you think that she was getting people suspended on Twitter? Those are just their policies that she helped created and that she knows the people that created them. Just weird. Drew Cook, a member of the Libertarian Party Sober Caucus. Oh, great. Yeah, because I used to be force-fed drugs and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that you were a party animal. Just stop it. There's the award that she got just days after it came out that she was a censor cuck. And they didn't have any evidence that she actually did do good work. But that's nice. She got a nice, shiny trophy that gets to stay at her family's very expensive house. Eliza preferred talking about the future. Well, I'm good that finally you talked to her about something, because you got really close with the Humanity House and then you just decided to spurg out and it's like, here's all the receipts of the non-work that she did, but everything that she claimed to do good work for. Interesting. The year 2050 is imprinted in her brain. Bro, I don't care about this. AI, fear, fear, fear. And it ends what Andrew Yang was saying. Are you going to be pushing him on Andrew Yang or anything like that? But no, yeah, we're all just going to be an interconnected hive mind and just sign up for a Timcast membership and he'll just tell you about the future. Just stop it, bro. The death of my career looks like me standing up for a woman. Oh my God, is this guy just going to be a big cuck at the end? I love it. They are rejoicing that my career is over for writing this. They spam the accounts. Yo, listen, I've talked mad shit about this entire situation. I've never, ever once reached out to Shane Cashman, right? I just say that he's a bad journalist, and if he tightens up his work, it's clear that he at least goes on location to talk about certain things. It's just, I don't find it all that compelling, and he talks about himself way too much in order for this to be any sort of journalism. It's kind of like a diary entry. You can link most of them in to a few accounts. It's mind-numbing. Yes, of course. All of my critics are clearly AstroTurf. I do good work, bro. The death of my career looks to be me standing up for a woman. Oh my God, go out on your white knight shield. I hope she sees this, bro. I believe to be a survivor of sex trafficking, but you haven't provided anything in order to help that out, and who has scars on her face from that abuse, who is now being ridiculed by the internet for being a supposed liar, then so be it. I am such a good person. Good boy. Good boy. I'd rather be wrong in my attempt to allow her to have a voice, a platform against a ghoulish mob than be silent. Yeah, okay, bro. Nobody knew about you before. Everybody will just refer to you as Eliza's footstool into the future. Oh well. Silence can be good and necessary and tactful. When you're watching an assault, physical or digital, those who choose to remain silent, those who do nothing, will expose themselves as the one that you've never truly been in your corner. Well, like Tim Pool, until he was instigated in order to have a bad take, doubled down on his bad take, then just decided, oh, there's actually something here. And then quadruple down on his terrible take. Everybody else is wrong except for me. Very funny that you'd write that in there. But remember, guys, everybody else is bad except for Shane and Tim. And then they're the ones who will join in on the assault because it makes them feel like they're a part of the gang. Remember, just because you might agree with somebody politically is the in this absurd world. Did he wait until Tim released his entire Spurg thread? I'm just wondering, because there seems to be a lot of similarities here. Or maybe it's the whole birds of a feather thing. The Gangstalker. Bro, just stop it. You're not going to make that happen. Stop trying to make Gangstalkers happen. They can say I'm crazy, but this happens if they continue to hack away at our digital profiles. I wonder who will and who won't join them for fun. Yes, it's everybody else's problem. Oh, okay, here's a couple more conspiracy theories, I guess. These are true. These aren't Psy-Ops. I was finishing writing a story when there was a Chinese spy balloon floating across America. Yeah, what did that ended up amounting to? Joe Biden looks like a cuck. Grass is green, the sky is blue. It's like, okay, just another day in the fucking neighborhood. If China really wanted to spy on you, do you think that they would attach a satellite, a low orbiting satellite, or would they just take all of your willfully given material straight from the internet? Like, just come on, just use some deductive problem solving. But you need to turn out content, you need to turn out articles, and your boss, sorry, it's late, he's just to tell you that, bro, the Chinese are coming and they're destabilizing society in a civil war. Video of something supposedly being shot down over Montana is trending with Eliza's name. I was never shot over Montana, but whatever. Pillar of smoke reaching down from the sky. People referencing Red Dawn. Yeah, see, just a bunch of fear porn. But that's legitimate, but everything questioning the censorship queen is somehow illegitimate. Interesting. Defense officials. I don't care, bro. I remember asking Eliza how she kept hope despite all the dark stories she had heard from other survivors. Yeah, it was weird to actually hear like a real survivor story. And then I just took some of the best parts that were out there and I just threw it all together. What a terrible, terrible correction. Not correction. Sorry, I just read that at the bottom. What a terrible collection of words that this guy tries to purport to being an article or a series of articles. The first one was definitely the sloppiest written. The second one lacked substance, and this one, this was a journal entry. It was at least the best written one. I can give you that prop, but apparently Eliza's taking it hard because now she's trying to channel the Simps. Who wants to be Eliza's king? She needs some brave kings out there. Subscribe to her OnlyFans. I need brave men to stand up for me right now. Please, I'm begging you. That's the first time in over the past 3 weeks that I've asked anyone to help me or stand up for me. Why? Because the grift is going to be over. They just finally put out their hopefully last and a laughable article about you, and you're just going to fade into irrelevance when everybody's like, you remember that purple girl who really went buck ass wild in February of 2023? Wonder what she's doing now. Oh, popping pussy on the gram. Oh, that's very interesting. And ooh, at 40 something, yo, that's a tough business model that you have there. That's interesting, man. Very interesting. You're trying to rally the Simps, all of the brave men that are out there. Well, don't worry, Eliza. I'm doing my part. I'm making sure that your message gets out to as many people as possible. There's other drama to be talking about tomorrow. Some information that probably needs to be gleaning from there. So if Tim doesn't do anything terribly stupid, and Eliza, just keep your yap shut to this point in time. Hopefully all this stuff will die down. Tim's career will go the exact same way of you, Eliza, and maybe you guys can just go ahead and retire into the mountains, because that's all we want. We're just trying to be good people in the sea of evil that's out there. So to all the good folks that were actually doing some good stuff, watching content like this, producing your own content like this, however you're deciding to parse out all of the lies, good on you. I support you. I don't support this grifter. Jeez. Thanks for the laugh, sweetheart. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.